meditation that we're gonna do now is in some way a breath awareness technique, which leads deeper into a meditative state. So we will bring our hands in front of us, and then we will start to mirror our breath, because when we inhale, our chest is expanding, our lungs are expanding, and so our hands can expand, our fingers can expand, and then with the exhale, just naturally we relax the fingers and the hands come closer together, and we're basically mirroring our breathing rhythm with our hands. And this, in a way, you can see it as the body is the instrument of perception, or the vehicle of the soul, and by tuning into this breath as a portal into the now, we can amplify our presence and we can go deeper into the space. So, and of course, best it works if you close your eyes, if you take all the sensory input from the eyes away. When I'm meditating, I'm even putting blindfolds on and earplugs in, so I can really fully focus on the presence within. And then I always have a little meditation pillow. So if you have a pillow or something to elevate your butt, that helps, so you don't so quickly get back pain or something. Otherwise it can be annoying, because then you cannot really focus on that subtle inner presence because your body hurts. But we're not gonna go as long today, so it's also fine without. Yeah, and then I will guide you a little bit with this breathing technique through different layers of our inner awareness, of our inner self. So we will explore a little bit the architecture of ourself. Just so you know, we have like these three centers. One center is like the bodily center, the physical center, then we have the emotional center, and then we have the mental center. And then there's the next higher entity, which is the observer, which is the awareness itself. So we go in and we become aware of these three centers, and then we become aware of the awareness itself. That was the little introduction, and now I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't done so already, and just settle into your breath again. You can bring your awareness into your solar plexus area, your physical center of the body, and you can feel how your belly is expanding, your ribs are expanding with the inhale, and with the exhale they're slowly falling back down. And there's no need to control, we just follow the natural breathing rhythm. And then we bring the hands up, kind of on the level of our ribs, and we start to simply mirror our ribs expanding, our belly expanding. You can imagine that you are not moving your hands, but basically the breath is just moving your hands. The breath is breathing you. You are not breathing. tune into the inside of your palms. Feel that sensation on the physical level. Now try to find the point right between your palms in the air and bring your awareness into this point, which should probably also be on the solar plexus height. So we create this imaginary point in front of us between our hands, and we project our whole awareness into this little point. And this little point is breathing with us. As our hands expand, the point now also expands with our breath, very naturally, very easily. And now we, just as easily as we have created this point, we just move it towards our body, into our solar plexus, into our belly. So our awareness is now with this ball in our center, and it is expanding with our hands, with our breath, and it is getting smaller with the exhale. And we can see and check in what is physically present in my body right now. How does it feel to have tension somewhere? Just observe. And slowly we get deeper into that breathing rhythm. With the exhale, we find more stillness, and what we add now is a little pause in between the inhale and the exhale, and the exhale and the inhale. So we find that stillness after the exhale, and then we inhale again, and we find a little stillness after the inhale. Not long, just acknowledge again there is a pause between the inhale and the exhale, and then I relax and I go deeper. And we continue our exploration. After the next inhale, we pause for a second and we feel this floating feeling. And then we drop the dimension of time. So we leave behind the concept of time, and suddenly our hands are moving even slower towards each other. It's really like moving through like a sticky honey. you can feel that there is not just air, it's like there's this electromagnetic field that your hands are moving through. And just become aware of this aspect of this field, that there's suddenly a more dense reality, some layer on top or underneath. And it's normal if the mind wanders off. We just come back to the breath, to the sensation in the hands. And now, as we have went deeper into ourself, we arrived at that astral space and that dimension of reality where our emotions are centered, where, basically the emotional center lives in the astral dimension, in the astral space. So now we can check in, how am I feeling this morning? What emotions are present? Is anything coming up, or am I just neutral? Am I just observing? And that's a very, very important aspect of our daily lives. Are we being pulled around by our emotions? Are our emotions controlling us, or can we create that separation between, hey, here am I, and there are my emotions? And then we come and we acknowledge these little pauses between the inhale and the exhale again. And after the exhale, it's kind of a stillness. And after the inhale, it's this floating in the air feeling. So now, after the next inhale, we float in the air again. And after we already dropped that dimension of time, we now leave behind the dimension of space itself. So we enter that mental realm, that mental center, and in this mental center, everything and nothing is already here. So our hands are leaving behind that physical space, and slowly our hands are just moving more slowly and slowly through that physical space, because it's just one aspect of reality. And we are getting right now more subtle, more sensitive to these aspects that are even behind the physical space, behind that illusion of time. Yeah, in the yoga philosophy, the time and space are part of the Maya, of the illusionary world that is trying to seduce us with its pleasures, but also has all the pains, all the suffering in it. And right now we are getting back to the source, back to the truth, to the true self, to the higher self, to your awareness. And now, as we have traveled through all these layers of our identity, of our vehicle, we arrived at the awareness of the awareness itself. And we are just witnessing our body breathing on these physical dimensions, on the mental dimension, on the astral dimension. And we are also witnessing the witness itself. We are witnessing the source that is behind, that is driving our life under our breath. And now I invite you to bring your hands closer towards each other. And so now the fingertips are almost touching each other. Maybe they are like 1 centimeter away from each other. And now there's a possibility that you can feel that sweet source, that energy between your fingers tingling, pulling your fingers towards each other, pushing them away from each other. And that is exactly that electromagnetic pull and push that is driving everything. Now we got so sensitive with our perception. The focus, the concentration is so concentrated on feeling this energy and this presence. And we still have that little energy ball between our hands, which I now see as our creation. Each one of us has created a little ball of energy between their hands. Maybe you can even feel it more or less intense. And now let's do some magic with it. Now I invite you to put some joy in it. Put whatever brings you joy or whatever you really want to bring in to this ball. You can put it in there. It can be inner peace that you're feeling right now. It can be gratitude. Just try to bring these qualities into this quantity, into this ball. And now let's take 3 deep breaths together to really fill this ball up all the way, directly from the source. Okay, and now the final step is we slowly make the ball smaller, we compress it, we bring the fingers closer to each other, and then one by one slowly touch the fingers, and then we move them towards our solar plexus, towards our heart, and we push this ball into our center. And then one hand is on our heart, one is on our solar plexus, and we just are, just feel, and we give our body that gratitude, give our higher self that gratitude, we give our mind the gratitude, and also our astral center for connecting the physical and the mental realm through our heart, through the emotions, through the feelings. And then softly bring your hands in front of your heart in this Namaste position. And now we generate some heat. We rub the palms onto each other. And then we put our palms onto our eyes. Take a deep inhale and feel the warmth. And then gently massage your face and come back as you please. You can of course keep your eyes closed. You can stay in the call if you want to share something, or you can just start your day. I think, yeah, it's been 1.5 hours now, so take your time.